I titled this Evolution of Ecosystems, which it's basically going to describe a change within a full ecosystem over time, which is what evolution is, but we're talking more about lands, not lands because a land is not living, but what occurs on land that starts life and moves forward, okay? So this is a change over time involving plants mainly, and if you look here, you actually have to know this, the annual plants, and then you've got like shrubs, and then you've got trees like pine trees, which are like your softer type of wood, into the hardwood trees, which are like oak. And there's two ways to describe succession or ecological succession, and the first one is primary. In primary succession, you basically have a lifeless habitat. What do you see here in a lifeless habitat? No what? No plants. Think even before plants. Soil. No soil, okay? There's nothing but rock. And it takes weathering and then these primary species to break down the rock, and they form the soil. Anybody know what the primary species are? If you look at this diagram? Good. And? Good. So they, along with weathering, start to break down rock and form like the first signs of soil, which contains nutrients, and life somehow starts to flourish. So you go from this barren land where nothing existed prior to a layer of moss, let's say, and then you've got your shrubs, and again you've got the pine trees eventually, and then your forest. Now think, who lives in at least an acre of land? Okay, only one person. But think about people that live, or you've been to their house, that live in an acre of land, and they cut the grass, right? But there's an area of their acre that they don't cut, and what does it look like? All right, let's go back because nobody's awake. Let's say you don't cut your grass for the week. What happens? What happens? It grows. What do you start to see? Weeds, okay? If you wait 2 weeks, but now we're going back to this house where they actually mow the lawn, but they leave a certain area. And in the back is what? Kat, what do you have in the back of your house? Do you mow all the way through? Okay, let's pretend we're looking.
I mean, yeah.
What's back there? You cut it all the way back?
I want to say it.
Okay, so woods. That's what you see. If you don't cut, you'll start to show, bushes. Eventually from bushes, you start getting the first signs of the trees that are weaker trees, and eventually you get the hardwood trees, okay, over time. That's what's going to happen. Okay, if you cut it, then obviously that's not going to happen. Now, a lifeless habitat, give me an example of that. Nope. A burnt forest would have wood that burned, so you're going to have nutrients in soil. Very hard to see is the point. Primary succession exists maybe where there's cold glaciers and nothing has existed there, and something changed in the climate, and now all of a sudden soil is starting to form or something, okay? It's very hard to prove. Most cases, it's secondary succession. So there's obviously soil and previous life existed. So maybe a volcanic eruption wiped out most of the living things in the area, but you still have that soil, and you're gonna immediately see weeds, right? And blah, blah, blah.